Welcome everyone to part 3 of our Toy Store point of service project. In the last couple of sessions we learned how to set up a list of the particular toys we're selling in our store. Here you can see I've got my stock and I have a list of board games. And in the second section we learned how to do things like check the inventory, add to the inventory, remove from inventory, and sort our inventory. In the third section, we are now going to set up a dictionary. A dictionary is another type of data structure that allows us to associate a key with a particular item, whether it's a string or an integer. It works similar to a regular dictionary where you have a word that is associated with a meaning. The word is the key, and the other item is the definition. So we're going to call this dictionary inventory item cost, and we're going to set equal to curly braces instead of square braces. And we'll go through and say use the names of our toys, and we'll use a colon to set equal to the cost of that toy. So I'm just going to set up some arbitrary prices for each item in my list. And so Monopoly we'll say is $9.89 or something like that. And Connect 4 is $14.98. And notice I'm putting float in front of my numbers because it's dollars and cents, and so we need a decimal type for our numbers. And then let's see, we have Battleship. And then finally, sorry. Okay, and then we end, of course, in a curly brace. Now, once we have our inventory of costs, our inventory of prices, now we can go ahead and do things like check the cost of an item. So we'll say def check item cost. And of course, we'll have to pass in the item that we want to check. And then we will say item cost is equal to inventory. Now we call our list, our dictionary, inventory item cost. And we look for that particular item. And then we return the item cost. So what this is doing is going into our inventory item cost, looking for the item, which might be something like, we'll type in Monopoly, and then it says, oh, well, the Monopoly is associated with $9.89, so it's going to put $9.89 in here and return the item cost. And then we can go down here, we can add to our list of functions. So we'll say elif answer in str by. well, actually, we wanted, oh, we're not buying yet. We're getting the item cost. So let's just add another function for cost. So we've got add, buy, check, and we'll just say cost here. So in cost, item equals raw imports, raw inputs, which item, which toy would you like me to look up the cost? Let's see, for which toy? Which toy would you like me to look up the cost? And then we'll say then we need to call our method get item cost or check item cost. So we'll say item cost is equal to check item cost, and we'll pass in the item, and then we will print item cost item plus item cost. Alright, so let's test this part of our code. And we have an end of file problem. Would you like elif answer in str cost? Item raw input for which toy would you like me to look up cost? Seems good there. Item cost is equal to check item cost. We've got our item, we've got our item cost. So where's the end of file error? And of course, it's not going to tell me token error end of file in multi-line statement, and it's not going to tell me where my end of file. Let's comment out the last portion that we did, see if we still get the same error. Okay, it's not down here. The next thing we added was this guy, but that's just, maybe we're missing something on our dictionary. Yes, we're missing a curly brace. There we go. Now we shouldn't have any problems. put this, take these comments back out and continue with our recording. So now we can check the cost, and we want to check the cost of Jenga, and it says that the global name inventory item cost is not defined. So let's check to see if our spelling is correct. INVENTORYITEMCOST. That looks correct. And then we go down to here. We can just copy this to make sure we have it spelled right. We want to do inventory item cost. Let's see. Oh, here's what we want to do. Oh, we're going to have to pass in inventory item cost and item. That's our problem. And then down here we're going to have to call the method check item cost. And we'll have to pass in inventory item cost here. Alright, let's try now. Cannot concatenate a string and a float, so we have to do str item cost. Alright, one more time. And there we see item cost is sorry $9.98. And we can do it again. Alright, so now we can look up the cost of a particular item, and we'll total our order in the next lesson. See you then.